It's the Gospel Lounge Show on 103.7 Excel FM.
Boys and girls, mommies and daddies, everybody listening to the sound of my voice, I have my amazing guest in the studio with me. Please make welcome Sotiee.
Yes, yo, everybody, how on a day?
That's my boss right there, Sotiee in the building.
Good to be here.
Sotiee. Thank you so much for coming through, boys.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here always.
So Sotiee, while we were chatting, you said you've been here about 3 times now.
Yes, I have been here.
Yeah.
This house has been good to me, you know. Yes.
Yeah.
Many years back, I think I've been here like 3 times. Yes. This should be the 4th time.
This should be the 4th time.
Yes.
So from the last time you came, and when you came here the last time, what were you promoting? What brought you here actually?
I think it was my single, Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Yeah. Celebrate.
Okay, that's that name. Celebrate. Celebrate is older than Sotiee.
Yes,
Celebrate before Sotiee came. Is there
Yeah.
something in between Celebrate and
Yes,
Sotiee?
there was there was Celebrate, there was Blessings.
There was Blessings.
Yes, there was Johnny and Salome.
Salome.
Yeah.
And Celebrate is very old.
There was Abba Father. Yes, Celebrate was the 2nd song I ever recorded.
Second song.
Yes.
Oh. And the first one was.
First one was Anua.
Anua. Now you had the video where you were playing the guitar, and then you were answering Judah Jess.
Judah Jazz. You've come long, fam.
I believe Sotiee has come a long way from Judah Jess to was
No, just Judah
Judah
Jazz,
Jazz,
and then we moved to Sotiee.
Yeah,
the local boy.
aka local boy.
Yes,
The local boy is in my studio.
Yes,
Oh, I believe I'm gonna get some local boy styling soon. Sotiee don't laugh.
Let's talk about that one off.
Okay, so from Judah Jess to Sotiee, from Anua to Celebrate to all other amazing songs, how has the journey been from the beginning? First off, what will you describe Sotiee as? Who is Sotiee?
I like to describe Sotiee as a fun, loving person, you know. I just want to be that guy every other day that you walk across and then you forget your sorrows. That's just it.
That's Sotiee.
That's just who Sotiee is. Just walk by me and forget your sorrows. That's all.
I mean,
So you forget your sorrows through music. You forget your sorrows through fashion. You forget your sorrows through, Apostle Sotiee the community.
I was coming too.
Yeah. Sorry, I took you. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite comic characters, Apostle Sotiee. I really love Apostle Sotiee.
He would hear.
I hope we'll see some Apostle Sotiee in this show before the end of the show. So how has the journey been,
It's been
from Anua down to Belly Boys now?
First of all, I'm just going to say thank God for this journey. You can't take away any part from any part. The bad part comes with the good part. The ability for you to stay through, gives you the icing on the cake. It's not been an easy journey, I can't even lie, right? But we thank God because every day we keep pushing. From Anua. Anua was a song that I recorded back then in a studio, and then imagine you're done with your song and the studio catches fire. Gets burned. I'm serious, man. You spend a lot of money, and then we individual
And you lost
artists,
the first recording.
lost everything. Everything. This fire thing has happened twice. So it's been crazy. I've had such experiences, Now I'm going to talk about a song I just finished working on. I got to the point. It's called Mama. I would have loved to give it to DJ Mannys, but maybe.
It's not out yet, I guess.
No, it's not. That's the next song that I'm going to be dropping. It's about my.
So you heard it here first. Mama is coming. Mama is coming.
Yes, you can be. You see, I've been in the studio for like 4 months because of Mama.
Wow.
You record, it crashes. You spend close to hundreds of thousands, and then everything crashes. You start again. If you don't have the nerve for that, you could just leave and go to read music. I did tell you, because you see people change professions. You don't know what must have gone down. It's not been easy. But yeah, I got to the point where I'm like, oh boy, see this song. Anyhow, one day, maybe like this is the final one, but it's going to come out. It's coming out soon. I'm going to say this here for the first time because of my love for you and then Mannys. It's going to be out next month. Next month on the 15th, and we can premiere it here though.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm super excited. We'll be premiering Mama on the 16th of next month here on the Gospel Lounge.
Yes.
Is doing so much for me today. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate this. So what pushed you into gospel music? I believe you didn't study music in school. So how did you get into this?
Funny enough, I grew up around an environment that music was the bedrock. You should know Great Evangelism World Crusade and Apostle. We grew up at the fans of Apostle and his children and everything. So they all were doing music, right?
Yeah.
I was never interested in music. That's the funny thing. They would chase me from here to here. Chase me, Sotiee, come and do this, Sotiee, come and do this, come and sing this thing. I did run steady. You get so as years would go by, I just started picking up interest in writing at first. So I would write for them. I can name a couple of songs I wrote for. I would write. They'll say, Sotiee, I'm stuck at verse 2. Can you just help me complete it? I complete it. They'll be like, wow, this is, So I started picking interest. Of course, I've been listening to sounds. I've been listening. When they were listening to church vibes, I'd like to call it that. Me, I was way far somewhere else. I was listening to the likes of Herbie Hancock and, Louis Armstrong, all of those kind of music. And, so when I started doing music, it was just fun to me finally. But my love for God, my love for God kept me going. I just want to tell people how lovely God is, in as much as I do other mainstream music, and you just find out that the bedrock is God, and everything I saw around me, these circumstances, you can't just imagine that I've gotten hit by a car more than 22 times.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Surgeries, I've had 4 major surgeries in my life.
Wow.
So I just came out from one.
Yeah, you just came out of one.
So then other minor surgeries would be like 2, so everything like 7. Why am I still here? It's a question I keep asking. So you just find out that God has plans for us all, and for me in particular.
Yeah.
So I like to express that through my music, and I think this is what God has given to me to do. So I hold it in high esteem.
We're talking about the beauty and the love of God and our experiences in God, because most times all the time when I bring artists to the studio here, I love them. I love it when they discuss their experiences with God, because gospel music to me is way beyond just the music.
Yeah.
There's something behind it. And your last song you released, Belly Boss, I believe there's an experience tied to it. So if you wouldn't mind sharing with us.
It's fine. Okay, so on a Saturday, I was just gaming, like I was playing games, and then I didn't feel like eating from 8 a.m. I didn't feel like eating till like 1. I'm going to cut the whole story short. Till like 1 in the afternoon, for no reason. I just was playing games, and food they passed my front. I need a job. I need to answer anybody. You get so. I just took coke. And then I started having belly ache. I was like, and I just normal belly pain, so it would stop. So I just laid down on the couch with my tummy facing down. As I lay down, immediately I just got up, like, no, make I go hospital. So I just booked a ride. For just normal belly ache, I said make I go hospital. Why? I should have just waited, So I was like, think I go hospital. So I just called my house people and then I told them that I'm going to the hospital. Who would like to come? So Popsy joined, and then we went to the hospital. So I got to the gate of the hospital. I threw up, and then I got in. They did their diagnosis and everything, and then they realized that I was actually working with a ruptured appendix. Like you don't burst, burst. Like you don't burst. Like usually, you have more cases of people dying when that thing bursts. You just die. But they still kept me till the next day because they weren't sure of what was happening. Everything happened in the hospital. How some nurses were really negligent of what they were supposed to do and stuff, and many things could have happened, but then they didn't happen. I went through surgery. They came. They said, this thing is ruptured. This is ruptured. I was booked immediately for a surgery. Immediately. So we went on with that, and yeah, that's how it happened. And yes, let me use this medium to say to everyone that came by the hospital, it was an inflow of friends and fans and everything. Like inflow. They had to give me a space
for your visitors.
A space. It was
so
because it was
long.
always full. So patients who come from their other wards and come to our ward keep their seats just to enjoy what was going on in my space. Because I had friends come over, they are not singing, they would be talking. Me, that I was not supposed to laugh. I was, so they were finding joy and strength to go on with their own medications and everything. So they always would come, people brought gifts and all of that. It was just amazing. I want to say thank you to all of you that, showed massive love, man. I love you, I love you.
Such an experience. Emmanuel has been hit by a car for over 24 times, had over 4 major surgeries on his body, and if you see him right now, he's looking so healthy and strong, and in fact you will just fall in love with him. Like he said, if you pass him, you will have joy. That is what Sotiee brings. Talking about joy. Let's go listen to one of Sotie's songs that brings so much joy to my heart. I believe the title is Sotiee.
It's the Gospel Lounge Show on 103.7 Excel FM.
Back, ladies and gentlemen, we're still with Sotiee in the studio.
Yes,
and we just listen, celebrate. He carries us on our wings. This kind of, the first time I heard celebrate, I remember back then, I was in Uniport a year. I was doing student unionism back then. So much conscious this, conscious that. And then I just saw Celebrate. I was online. I forgot how I knew Celebrate was out. I saw it. I sent file. I don't know if you can remember. I sent you a voice note. I was shouting. Oh my God! Uncle Sotiee, this is crazy. I love this song. That song came out and it wasn't up to a month. You won't believe me. I was hearing it in clubs. Like I will pass some bars and you're hearing them jamming Celebrate. Like the song fits in everywhere. How did you do Celebrate? How? That song is what celebrated. How did you do it?
Funny enough, I think I was working on what's the name of that street? Ibuku Street, yes. And then I just started tapping my leg, normal. Anyway, stories like this are very much out there, but then this one is special for me because how that thing came was just because I kicked a Coke bottle. Like seriously, like I just kicked it, and the thing gave me a tune, and then I just started vibing. I brought out my phone and then I started typing, and that was how Celebrate came about. Then immediately after, it was Abba Father that I did with a certain Trozo from Ghana and then a Senegalese, both of them 2 countries on that one song called Abba Father. Yeah. So on the street I wrote 2 songs.
Wow.
before I go home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you see how spontaneous a human being can be? On the
that's it.
street, this is someone with so much talent.
Yeah.
So much talent. I'm so excited to have Sotiee here with me. If you're just joining us, it's the Gospel Lounge show here on 103.7 XL FM. You're not in the wrong place. Don't change the dial. Don't. You're exactly in the right place. And I'm here with Sotiee, one of Port Harcourt's finest. When I mean finest, super talented gospel artists, not just Port Harcourt, Nigeria. One of Nigeria's finest, biggest gospel artists we have. And he's in Port Harcourt City. Port Harcourt is blessed.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sotiee, what will you say about the industry here in Port Harcourt? The gospel industry in Port Harcourt. I've heard a lot of upcoming artists who have complained that there's no much support, and they prefer the business going on over in Lagos State than here in Port Harcourt. What do you think about this?
Well, what I'm going to say is going to hurt your feelings. So, and probably everybody who's listening, but maybe I should skip that and just go to the point where I say that this town, I've always said this town is blessed.
Yeah.
If you go to the studios and you listen to jobs that have not been finished, or jobs that also have been finished, but due to lack of funds and all of that, the artist just decides to just leave it there. If you hear songs, if you hear songs Port Harcourt people they do, then on the other hand, I've said it, no need to fight. There's no need to. People are always fighting with Port Harcourt and Lagos. They're always trying to compare Lagos and Port Harcourt. There's no need to compare these two cities. We have the raw talents. Just send them to Lagos. Ishoki Abi, I told you I was going to feelings. Yeah.
Send them to Lagos.
Don't fight. Do you have what it takes to blow an artist here? No, be truthful. Do you have what it takes? Call every artist that really was big aside Duncan Mighty. In fact, at a point in Duncan Mighty's life,
He had to
go to Lagos. It's just like America, right? If you're a fashion designer, if you're an artist, you all dream to go to New York.
Yeah.
So why are you fighting it? That's where the hub is.
Yeah.
Just go there. There's no need to fight. It's one Nigeria.
Can go and come
You
back.
feel me? Just go, come back.
do your
Like
thing,
what Mr.
come
Funny
back.
is doing, and then, they go there, establish, and then come back here. Also establish here. That's what they don't do rightly. You go there, you establish. You also bring up people from here. If you two day your side, come and establish things here. There's no TV, proper TV like Clip TV and all of that here in Port Harcourt that showcases Port Harcourt talents. On the other hand, talking about investors, that's been overflowed. There are no investors. Port Harcourt artists are thriving individually with their own resources. That's why I respect them a lot. I respect us a lot. If we have investors in this town that really would, if we have investors, Port Harcourt to do a lot of things. The first Grammy Award came here.
Yeah.
First Grammy Award in Nigeria
Came to Port Harcourt.
came from Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt, yeah.
What are you saying?
Port Harcourt has talent.
What are you saying?
Port Harcourt has talent.
So it is what it is.
Okay, so what is your biggest influence in the industry in music?
Well, first off is John Legend. John Legend is my legend. And then you have Fred Hammond, and then the other one, I take I take exception to whatever you think about it, is Burna Boy. Yes, he's been exceptional. I knew Burna Boy from way back. You just would identify with him from the tone in his voice, the richness in his voice, from way back. So from I beg, now they see me trying to move ahead, from there, we started coming with Burna Boy, and he's doing well. He's doing well.
Don't you think you get criticized for having these two people as your biggest influence, and then you are into gospel music?
Yeah, like I said, I will hurt your feelings. And
You
that's
don't
what
hurt
I
me
do.
how many times now?
And that's what I do. I've learned not to live my life on basis of your opinions. It is my life. You get, it is a reason. There's a reason why it is my life and why God created variation. You know, we are all different people. You know, there are things that spur me. I mean, can you just, let me go into it. I'm sorry this is a gospel show, but these are people that are doing good. Have you been under the ministration of Minister Burna Boy? Have you heard music with the outsiders? Like, have you heard these things?
Yeah,
You hardly can find gospel artists giving you that. You can count your fingers. I'm telling you.
It's the Gospel Lounge Show on 103.7 Excel FM.
So, fashion and comedy, you know, how did all this come up? Like, have you always been into fashion before music, or?
It's the Gospel Lounge Show.
Give them out, and then my parents would be like, "You don't have a lot. Why are you giving out your clothes?" But then me, I saw a need. This guy did not have a shirt, did not have a nice shirt, so I just gave him so that, you know, I was doing that a lot. So growing up, I started seeing how some average people, I was thinking, I can actually do styles, I can actually make clothes, because I loved also seeing the act of tailoring, sewing, the sound of the machine. Back then, it was just amazing for me. So I was looking at it, and then I started thinking, for the average people that cannot really afford that top class expensive attires, I can bring down the cost and still give them quality. It was just reaching out for me. It was about reaching out for me, really. So that's why, even if we're talking about local boy styling right now, you'll see that the prices are not like what other people charge, but then you're getting sometimes more better than what it is. So yes, it is, and it is reaching out to people. You know, I just want to give them quality, even though you're an average person. You know, even though you're an average person, I want you to be clothed in swaddling clothes.
Oh my Jesus! Oh my Jesus! The best of the best. I wanted to ask you what next, but you already said Mama is coming up next. Aside Mama, are we expecting anything?
You expect? No, let's leave that one. It's too much of information. You had a lot of information. So
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of information.
Yeah.
So,
Mama,
before you leave, what advice do you have for upcoming artists? You know, considering the times we are in now, the generation we are in now, considering technology and so many things happening in the world right now, what advice do you have for both upcoming artists and those who have already been in the game?
Yeah, a lot of them would have heard a lot of advices. You know, there's nothing you can say to anyone that's new. I don't think so. But you see this Mama song that's coming out. I have a lot of stories to tell. You know, Mama is about my mama. You know, I'll just give you a little story. She left way when I was small. You know, grew up with my dad. He became my mom and my dad at the same time. You know, and all of that. A lot of pressure, a lot of things. You know, and that's where that Mama came up from. You know, a lot of you have faced a lot of things that you might not be even willing to share. You know, we don't understand why the burden is so much on you, and we can't say that, oh, it's nothing, just move on, just keep going on. It's not easy. But one thing I know is that if you have passion for music, that passion will drive you beyond all of this, beyond the lack of funds, beyond the togetherness in your home, beyond, you know, everything you're going through, beyond the poverty, beyond not having food to eat. That passion will drive you. In fact, they say that it is the hungry that will make you write songs. It is the hunger that will make you thrive. You know, that's what I believe, because all of the days when I was crying in the night, as I did cry, the way my cry they sound and is a right song. It's crazy. At least I'm like, that's my comfort zone. That's where I chose to, just pour my sadness on, my bad days on,
So you cry with suffers.
My brother, I tell you.
Talking. No, you mentioned something. I wanted that to be my last question, but you mentioned something. You while expressing this last question, while answering this last question, you talked about passion for music. But is it not beyond the music? I mean, this is gospel music. Is it just passion for music that is going to do this, or the passion for Christ?
Bro, see, gospel music is gospel music.
So what is
if
the
you
goal?
Are not saved, if you are not saved, if you've not had an encounter with Christ, you are just going to struggle and you're just going to make empty music. You're just going to, only Jesus can save. Once you know that fact, if you have not and you are out there, you just keep to it, keep yearning for Christ. It is not hard. It is not something you have to buy data for. It is not something you have to travel to go and meet Jesus. No, just right there, look up, open your arms. Like when a child sees his dad or his mom, they just open their arms, and they trust that their father will carry them. Yeah. So if you just open your arms and you are really, really, really serious about it, find Christ for yourself. It will drive a lot of your music. It will drive your passion. It will drive every other thing. Because like this, I hide behind the cross.
The old rugged cross.
Yeah. And that's all I want to show. Just the cross. The cross.
Alright guys, this is how far. I feel like I have so many questions. I believe Sotiee is going to be on my show again and again. I mean, we're premiering Mama right here, and I was checking, I was going through the calendar. He said it's coming out on the 16th, and Wednesday is 12th, or we're doing 19th. So me and Sotiee will discuss that. So we'll know how we'll fix this date, because we need to premiere Mama here on this show. But the date is 16th, and my show, the Gospel Lounge, comes up every Wednesday. And Wednesday is either the 12th or 19th. But let's see how the Spirit drives us. So you've heard from Sotiee, guys. Except a man be born again,
He cannot.
you have nothing. You have nothing. Thank you so much, Sotiee, for being out here on the show with us. It's been an amazing time. Alright guys, don't go nowhere. I'm still bringing you amazing songs from the one and only superstar Afro Gospel DJ. I mean, when I'm introducing him, he gives me so much joy. I feel like adding so many things to his thing. Alright, I'll be right back while DJ Manny keeps you company with amazing gospel songs. Don't go nowhere. It's the gospel.
It's the Gospel Lounge Show on 103.7 XL FM.